Morning guys, I am standing in front of my first hutches that I built for my rabbits. I work really hard for them to be comfortable. I don't want them to be overheating, I don't want them to be in danger from predators, and I don't want them to get parasites. Rabbits don't like direct sunlight, they don't like to be hot, and so we put that flap down in front of their cage so that they are comfortable. I'll show you what our other options are. These are our other rabbit cages. They are on top of T-posts and lathe. And then we have chicken wire around the bottom so that the ducks and the chickens can't get in and eat the rabbit manure. These are really nice, even better than these that are made out of wood, because the airflow under them is very good. And when it's really hot in the summer, them being underneath the crabapple, but also being up on this platform that lets the air really flow, keeps them from overheating. Okay, Mama Rabbit needs some hay, and it needs to be clipped to her cage so she can't tip it over. Why do I make such a big deal about the rabbits? Well, they give us manure that can be put directly into the garden. These are my raspberries with some new strawberries I just planted. I take all the hay, all the sunflower seeds and wheat that falls through, and rabbit manure, and we put it as a deep mulch on all our permaculture. And for our soil, it is like a miracle worker. It has good bacteria in it, it has good nitrogen, but it's not so hot that it burns the plants. So it's an amazing weed inhibitor. So rabbits are a really big deal on our homestead. We sell most of our babies because we have so many other sources of meat on our property. But then when we have a glut and they're not selling fast enough, we also butcher our babies when they're about 10 weeks old, and we put them in the freezer, and they're a source of food for our family. How do we afford to keep these rabbits? Well, we don't give them commercial pellets. We give them good hay, the same hay that we give to our dairy goats. We give them wheat, and we give them sunflower seeds. And so they eat a very, very small amount of wheat, a very small amount of sunflower seeds, and then a whole bunch of hay. Other things we give them are tree cuttings and vegetables that we won't be eating from the garden. Mostly it's just hay though, and so it costs very little to keep them. When I was giving them commercial pellets, it was a big worry. It was a big struggle because commercial rabbit pellets are very expensive. So last winter we did a trial run. We took 2 rabbits and put them on this alternative feed thing with just hay and sunflower seeds and wheat. And then I tested some young rabbits on it. They didn't die. I was worried they would die of malnutrition. And then we had a young doe and a young buck, same rabbits. We bred them and we watched to see if the mom got sick during her gestation, which she didn't. She thrived. And then once the babies were born, we had them on the same diet the mom had been on. And young baby rabbits are the most sensitive to malnourishment. They are growing so fast. If you do not have enough protein, if you don't have enough of everything that they need, they will just curl up and die. And so I was very concerned that they would die. They didn't die. Now here we are 8 months later. Nobody has died from malnutrition. And my pocketbook is super happy because now they are a 100% profit animal on our homestead. I make a lot of money off of them and I don't have to put a lot of money in. So these are more raspberries. And then I have garlic and wheat. And so again, I mulch with the rabbit manure bedding. I do have some strawberries in here. And so I might come in here with some scissors and cut back the wheat just to give the strawberries a little bit more sunshine. But that is wheat in there, not regular grass. And then over here, this is garlic, not regular grass. And you can see, this is how we have the summer rabbit set up. It gives them huge amounts of airflow so they don't get too hot. And then all their manure falls under here. We just have to rake it up and take it to where we want to use it. Again, this is wheat. I love to use weeds as mulch, so I'm not going to remove these from the strawberry bed. I'm going to lay them down around the strawberries. Come on, kitty. Out, out, Grandma. Out. Kitty, kitty. Come on. Come on, kitty. Graham. Alright, you can see it looks quite a bit different. And I'm having to do this pretty much everywhere. The shade is a good thing for the plants, but this is already kind of a shady spot. The tree has started to really grow in and over. And so, even though it gives a lot of lovely shade, we're kind of starting to develop too much of a forest, true forest back here. And we're not getting a whole lot of room for sunlight to hit anything. So I probably need to do something about that. Hi, ducks. That'll give us 2 extra cages that we can take out of here. The reason I'm really desperate to get some cages out is because I need to start our January vegetables in the hotbed. And with all these cages in here, I can't finish the beds up. I can't top them off. So this is the buck we are keeping. He's from the black mom that we sold. And he's a really nice looking buck. We also know who his dad is. So we're keeping him. And then here's he used to be our junior buck, now he's our senior buck. So he's the daddy of all these other babies. And then this is our good mama, our brown mama. And she did have babies in single digits, and they're doing just fine. She lost one that was a stillbirth, and we pulled that one out, but everybody else is doing fine. She's such a good mama. Alright, I'm going to cut down the rest of this for the pigs and the goats. And again, you would be surprised at how quickly it grows back. I know it looks like I'm just butchering it, but it'll grow back really fast because it's greens. There's my pile of greens. This is for the goats and the pigs. And that opens things up a bit so everything else can be happier. And I don't think I'm going to have room in here at this point because these are not bitter. They just taste like mustard greens or turnip greens. They taste like they're supposed to taste. They haven't tried to go to seed yet, even though it gets pretty hot in here. So I'm going to let these greens continue to grow and be super happy. And I'm going to make sure I get my next hotbed filled so I can plant in there instead. Initially, when you're planting lots of small plants, you can plant them really thick and then harvest. Where are you at, Squirt? Did you already do Mama? Did you get it?